This will be my last segment on the dragon bloodline. You know, throughout life, I have learned some of my most valuable lessons from my worst enemies. And I think in understanding the origins of these reptilians, these dragons, and their whole purpose, we'll understand that there's actually benefits that we can gain from this. Because the same hats that they wore 1,000 years ago is the same hats they wear now. Just different masks, just different skin suits, but they are the same reptiles that work covertly in influencing us. And of course, from the beginning, in Surah 7, Iblis, or the devil, said, "Give me respite," and basically he will prove to the source that we are not worthy. Because remember, he was told to listen to Adam, to submit to Adam, and he didn't want to accept that rulership because we were made of clay or flesh. And of course, he was made of fire and light, or smokeless fire, as it says in the Quran. But throughout history, we have known them by their characteristics. And when they created their offspring, the Nephilim, not only through flood, but through what you would call civil wars and genocide, they destroyed each other out of hunger. As I told you in the last film, they ate themselves. So they have always been cannibals. And all of the offspring of the Nephilim still carry all of those characteristics, personality traits to this day. Some say certain bloodlines. I haven't researched enough on that to say specifically, but I do know this. You do know them by their characteristics. When you look at heavy metal, through hard rock, through hip-hop, so-called hip-hop today, through music, through the movies and entertainment, they always display their Nephilim behavior. The ways that they communicate with us, the way that they do everything in deception, come in peace but leave destruction, is all the ways of the Nephilim, and especially their appetite, as we can see recently with all of the news in the last 3 years with these files and everything. So, you know, we have to be very, very observant of what they do, because they will never tell you right off, "I'm wicked, I'm a devil, I'm here to destroy you, I want to eat you." But look at them in their ways, in the ways that they behave. Look at Hollywood. Look at the shapeshifter. People speak of shapeshifters all the time. Isn't shapeshifting transhumanism? It's physically shifting your appearance. You know, all of the different cartoons that we grew up watching, and as far as Disney, Looney Tunes, you name it, they have always subliminally programmed us, because that's what they've done. Because remember, as the accuser, he always wanted to show us from the beginning, or show the Most High from the beginning, that we are not that. And there's nowhere in the world he was going to submit to something that's like this. And look at us now. During the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, there was an audit taken when they first came to Abraham. And they said that Abraham asked him, "If I could at least find 50, could you spare it?" Well, long story short, they couldn't even find 5. As a matter of fact, it was just Lot and his 2 daughters. In the end, even the wife couldn't take her mind away from the ways of Sodom and Gomorrah, and she perished with the city, also turned to salt. But all of these destructions always took place when there was a rise in debauchery and abomination, like it is now. And like I was saying in the other film, in Hollywood, they show us all these characteristics. Men lying with men, same gender expression, going through the elementary schools, and now it's being normalized in the name of communities. Normalizing these characteristics, and oh, you're judging, but you know, anything that goes against the laws of nature is what the fallen is all about. And that's their whole point. They've been revolting since the beginning, since they were thrown out the heavens. And imagine, if there's billions in existence, imagine what 1/3 of heaven would be, especially on this lower level of heaven. So, again, let's look at the characteristics. Eating flesh. That's one of the worst things that you can do. Defiling the body. Any kind of possession always has people harming themselves, cutting themselves up. You know what I'm saying? Disrespecting the vessel. So we know them by their fruits, as I always say. So who are the sources offspring? The ones who came through the good bloodline. Well, we know ourselves by our fruits. I know who you are out there. I've contacted a few of them, and I know who you are. You people who have those dreams and know things that are going to happen before time. You people who always just want to be in solitude, away from the wickedness. You know who you are. To be observant and know what's going on without having to watch the news. You can feel it coming in the air. Lovers of animals. Those who don't participate in just devouring animals. Polluting the world. Hurting children. People, men who love women and women who love men. You know who you are by your fruits. Because you don't have the urge and desire to commit wickedness. You don't care about people's skin color. You would never harm a child. These are the characteristics of God's chosen. And that's how we understand ourselves. So it's clear who the fallen are. We don't have to go through a real deep origin story on them all the time, but I just wanted to make these things clear. That's why I did these films. Because in the beginning, remember, he was the accuser. He wanted to show that we are not worthy. And you know them by their fruits, all the things I just spoke about. So now we have an understanding of the fallen. All the way from Queen Elizabeth in the present, all the way to Vlad Dracula, Temps, and even before him with the Nephilim and the wicked rulers. The ones who wanted to build towers to the heavens to still go against the Most High, even in the fall. They will never stop their agenda, and they will always be here. And the greatest gift is our discernment and recognizing who they are. Ancient Nine Mystery School, Saint Germain.